Welcome back to Epic Screen. Today we are diving deep and completely breaking down every single secret, book deviation, and jaw-dropping moment from the chaotic feature-length Season 3 premiere of House of the Dragon, titled Salt Sea Fire and Blood. And because this massive episode happens to be dropping across the realm on Father's Day, it is only right that we kick things off by giving a special shout-out to all the toxic, manipulative, and downright terrible dads running amok across Westeros, from Otto Hightower's multi-generational plotting to Demon's absolute emotional neglect. If you are brand new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell right now for highly detailed weekly breakdown videos all season long, because this premiere completely alters the trajectory of the Dance of the Dragons by thrusting us headfirst into the legendary Battle of the Gullet, historically known as the bloodiest, most catastrophic naval clash in the entire history of the Seven Kingdoms, which ultimately inflicts a devastating, heartbreaking blow to Rhaenyra Targaryen's cause with the tragic, violent death of her eldest son and heir Jace Targaryen alongside his young dragon Vermax. Before we even reach that explosive, tragic climax, the show establishes its dark, unforgiving new tone with a brand new intro sequence where composer Ramin Djawadi completely remixes the classic Game of Thrones theme into a heavy, militaristic war march dominated by deep percussion and weeping strings, while the updated Targaryen tapestry literally shows fresh blood oozing and running across the threads to mirror the rapidly rising body count. The actual plot kicks off down in the Vale, where a desperate, toxic, manipulative mommy energy, lying about her whereabouts and stroking Aemon's massive ego to convince him he was always meant to rule and should fly Vhagar away to Harrenhal immediately, leading directly into an incredibly unsettling, deeply dysfunctional WTF moment where a broken, emotionally stunted Aemon suddenly leans in and kisses his mother on the lips as a twisted expression of control and familial devotion. Alicent then takes her desperation to the absolute limit, locking herself in her private chambers to carefully forge Aemon's royal signature on an official decree sent to Ormond Hightower, explicitly commanding his massive 15,000-man army and her youngest son Daeron on his blue dragon Tessarion to completely halt their march for 3 full days to buy Rhaenyra an open window to sack King's Landing bloodlessly. However, her desperate political maneuvering cannot stop the rest of the realm from burning as we rapidly jump across the bleeding edges of the war to the Riverlands, where Daemon Targaryen and Caraxes are in their absolute bloodthirsty element, gleefully burning Lannister troops to ash at the brutal Battle of Lakeshore until the fierce, hardened Northern Stark vanguard arrives under the command of Roderick Dustin, better known as Roddy the Ruin, who casually flings the severed, bloody head of Sir Jason Lannister straight at Daemon's feet while proclaiming the iconic line that they have come south to die gloriously for the Dragon Queen. Not far away, hidden in the dense wilderness near the God's Eye, the newly minted dragon seeds, Ulf White with Silverwing, Adam of Hull with Sea Smoke, and Hugh Hammer with Vermithor are actively staging a massive dragon ambush, fully expecting Aemon to fly Vhagar over the area while swapping fascinating pieces of Targaryen. The Targaryen tracks down and successfully claims the wild, aggressively untamed dragon sheep stealer after a terrifying, erratic first flight that leaves her stranded on a desolate mountaintop before the beast accepts her, cementing a powerful telepathic bond spoken entirely in ancient High Valyrian. Meanwhile, back in the snake pit of King's Landing, a furious Aemon Targaryen violently drags Grand Maester Orwyle from his bed, threatening him with the Valyrian steel blade Blackfire upon discovering that a horribly burned, physically shattered Aegon has mysteriously slipped out of the Red Keep in the dead of night alongside Master of Whisperers Larys Strong. Sneaking away in a covered animal cart, Aegon is undergoing a brutal, agonizingly cold turkey detox from Milk of the Poppy, but their stealthy escape goes completely south on the road when they encounter a strict blockade of guards secretly loyal to Rhaenyra and the Blacks. Because Aegon is completely disfigured and unrecognizable to average smallfolk, Larys smoothly uses the chaos to his advantage, saving their skins by revealing Aegon's distinct royal crown from his baggage and convincing the greedy guards to secretly escort them straight to Dragonstone for an unimaginable bounty, playing a brilliant game of 4D chess, knowing Rhaenyra will want Aegon alive to force a public abdication before his inevitable masterful execution. This massive security breach leaves Alicent Hightower in an absolute state of paralyzing panic when she finally returns from her secret, treasonous meeting with Rhaenyra, only to walk into the throne room and find Aemon sitting cold and imposing on the steps of the Iron Throne, wielding the Conqueror's sword as regent and king. Desperate to stall the impending siege of the capital and protect Helena, Alicent resorts to an intense display of bastard lore, including heavy nods to Hugh being the son of the exiled princess Saera Targaryen, and Ulf's growing dangerous entitlement as he demands a castle for his service. Their high-stakes stakeout takes a deeply supernatural turn when a terrifying, mystical green man suddenly materializes out of the dense fog, followed closely by a cryptic Alice Rivers who appears to be operating as a direct meat puppet for the cosmic, time-transcending power of the future Three-Eyed Raven, using the magical Weirwood network to command the Dragon Seeds to abandon their trap and fly straight back to Dragonstone to assist Rhaenyra. This builds directly into the episode's massive, action-packed climax when Baela races back to Dragonstone on Moondancer to deliver the terrifying news that the Deadly Triarchy fleet has officially sprung their trap in the Gullet, while Rhaenyra's immediate instinct is to mount Syrax and fly into the fray herself. A fiercely determined, gung-ho Jace makes a highly questionable, emotional executive decision and convinces the Queensguard to physically lock Rhaenyra inside her own royal chambers to keep her safe, while he and Baela fly into the meat of the battle. The resulting naval bloodbath is a jaw-dropping cinematic masterpiece heavily inspired by the tense, claustrophobic ship-to-ship tactics of Star Trek II. The Wrath of Khan, showing Lord Corlys Velaryon attempting a brilliant tactical maneuver aboard his newly renamed flagship, the Queen Who Never Was, to lure Admiral Sheriko Lohar's fleet into a deadly geographic choke point known as the Dragon's Teeth. But the sheer numerical superiority of the Triarchy fleet completely overwhelms the Velaryon blockade, and when Jace and Vermax dive bomb into the burning hulls to unleash torrents of dragonfire, the sheer chaos of the battle, coupled with the sudden, erratic arrival of a completely unhinged wild sheep stealer, causes the entire operation to completely disintegrate into a tragic debacle where Vermax is critically wounded by giant scorpion bolts, sending Jace crashing into the sea to be shot down and killed by enemy archers, leaving the premiere to end on an incredibly dark, emotional cliffhanger as a trapped, screaming Rhaenyra realizes her eldest son has flown straight to his doom. So let me know what you thought of that wild twist and Jace's tragic departure in the comments section below, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss next week's breakdown.